on foot pursuit?
I mean, typically, we don't spike, or pit bicycles. Um, I mean, that's general sort of, standard, but this is such an uncommon occurrence that I mean, aside from not pitting, not spiking, or anything to that extent, I don't know that there is much else.
What did you mean by London Star?
Oh, that word actually didn't come out of my mouth here.
Mm, yes. So, how much space were you giving the bike when you pulled up in front of it?
Not much at all. Um, because there were, oh gosh, I mean, this was a month and a half ago. Uh there were sort of objects in the way, sort of making it not really practical to like provide much space, if that makes sense. In the sense that if I did, they would have just had, sorry, ample opportunity to go around, as I'd have to be like very selective. So as soon as there was the first opportunity, I pulled right in front of it. And to be clear, when I say I pulled right in front of it, it was me driving parallel to the bike and then swerving left towards it. Well, towards, but
Was there
in
enough
front.
space for my client to come to complete and safe stop?
No, the intent was to get them off the bicycle. And I'm going to say this as candid and respectfully as I can. The intent was to ensure they were off the bicycle.
So, falling off the bicycle at high
Going over
speed.
the handlebars. Well, who said high speed? We're talking about a bicycle here. Did I say high speed? Because I didn't say high speed. Couldn't have been me.
Yeah, but that's still something that can lead to injuries.
What? Are you testifying?
Calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's move on. So, who apprehended my client?
I believe I was the one to place them in cuffs. And then processed Mr. Sterling.
So, Officer Johnson was involved. What did Officer Johnson say to Mr. Sterling?
Something to the extent of like, should we bring him to Little Seoul to apologize to the people he hit?
That were his exact words?
I mean, I'm paraphrasing there. I mean, this was a month in. Can I double check my statement?
As an evidence, the report was also shared to the public for anyone to view.
Let me see. Um, I did not. I did not put that in my statement. But I distinctly recall the conversation being had there regarding. And I know this because Cass approached me a few days later, if not a week later, asking for the name of the officer specifically who referenced the like the Little Soul stuff. But I am certain when Officer Johnson stated that it was for the sole purpose of apologizing to the people that he had struck. Now, I did not witness a collision or anyone being struck at Little Seoul, to be clear, during the pursuit. But I remember that being said.
Okay. So which people are we talking about exactly?
Cass Sterling, of course.
No,
That's
I
what we're talking
mean
about here.
which people in Little Seoul are we talking about?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't. Again, I didn't see the actual striking of individuals.
Okay. Let's come to that then later. So, do you know the gang the Besties?
Objection, relevance.
My alarm.
I'll hear the rebuttal.
Is very relevant because we are about to bring up the fact that my client was threatened by being dropped off at the Besties, who operate in
client-
Little Seoul.
All right. The client was never threatened to be dropped off at the Besties. The client was a suggestion was made between officers for the client to be returned to Little Seoul specifically, not to the Besties, to apologize to the people the client struck during the pursuit.
Okay.
At no point was a gang by the name of the Besties mentioned.
I'm down to answer the question for what it's worth.
I'm sure you're doing to answer a lot of questions, Mr. Rhodes. In regards to this, the relevance of this,
It is relevant here.
I understand the defense's position on what they believe was said. The plaintiff believes something else was said. And in regards to what they believe was said, the relevance of the Besties is, I can see the relevance to it. That's not to say that I have made a determination on what I believe was said by Officer Johnson. He's not testified yet, so I'll overrule the objection.
Understood.
All right. What was the question?
Do you know the gang the Besties?
I am familiar with the gang known as the Besties.
So, what reputation does this gang have?
Oh, geez. I guess it depends on who you ask. I mean, I have pretty good
you as
report.
a law enforcement officer.
Well, but are you asking for like my personal or like public perception of them? Because like, I ain't gonna lie, I f with the Besties, you know, they kind of okay, but like public perception, you know, they ain't besties with everybody, you know, like don't f with them.
So you say don't f with them. Does do the Besties have?
Can I clarify, Rhodes? When you say don't F with them, do you mean don't fuck with them?
Yeah. If I can say the f word, I'll just say it.
Yeah, you can swear. That's fine.
Okay, all right, yeah. People shouldn't fuck with the Besties because they can be scary.
Okay, so do you have experience with the Besties retaliating against people?
Retaliating? Technically, yes. One time, Idiot did shoot someone at the apartment. That's neither here nor there. Yes, there has been retaliation from the Besties that I'm aware of.
Does this lead up to them attempting to murder people?
Yes, it. Yup. Mm-hmm. It can.
Are the Besties a gang that are known to shoot civilians and law enforcement officers?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Okay. Okay. Is it standard procedure to take an suspect in custody to go apologize to whoever they have wronged during their pursuit?
Objection, relevance.
It's relevant.
I'll hear the rebuttal.
I mean, this is highly relevant since that is the statement they made.
A statement being made is not an action that was taken. So the plaintiff was never brought to the location.
And in this case, it's about a threat.
It's opinionated. Perspective was a threat,
So,
but there's no threat placed.
on the wording of the question, I don't see a threat in this. The question was, is it standard procedure to take someone to go apologize? That doesn't seem like a threat to me. So I will sustain the objection.
Okay. Okay. No more questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Defense cross-examination of senior deputy Rose.
Morning, Senior Deputy Rhodes. How you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing okay.
Okay, I just have a few questions for you. What information did you have leading up to this call in pursuit of Mr. Sterling?
So primarily, originally, that a stolen or an interceptor had been stolen. And then within the pursuit, because I was late to this pursuit, to be clear, I was not there from the very beginning. It was clarified that the individual had likely been robbing locals at Knuckle Duster Point, which, you know, I did clarify earlier. I did see the individual with, and also clarified in my statement that they were in possession of Knuckle Dusters. Yeah, that's primarily it. Stolen interceptor, individual Knuckle Dusties. Yeah, I think that's mostly it.
Okay, and you stated that the interceptor had crashed somewhere on lower power. What happened when the interceptor had crashed?
Well, the individual got out with something in their hand, which Cass himself clarified was Knuckle Dusters. To be clear, I did state that the individual had a weapon, and I did mention, I did mention a gun, to which Cass was very upset I said that. He was not in possession of a gun. It was Knuckle Dusties. He was angry at the time. But he did put the Knuckle Dusties away.
Okay. So where did the suspect run after the interceptor crashed out?
Oh, my goodness. Halfway through Los Santos County, let me tell you, because it started lower power. Y'all know the underground garage from Elgin to lower power? That's where they went through. That's where the car went out, and he got arrested by the Billabong. He done ran, he swam, rode a bike. I'm pretty sure that qualifies as a triathlon. Is that what it is? The three? Run, bike, swim?
That is a triathlon.
Yeah, that is
Yep, that's a triathlon. I mean, listen, good on you, man. Good on you. I don't know how you still have a limp to this day.
Mr. Sterling definitely does his cardio. And then where was Mr. Sterling apprehended at? Where was he placed in cuffs?
Right next to the Billabong. Well, okay. I would say, like, probably a couple blocks north of the Billabong, but like on the beach side.
Okay. And when he was arrested, did he have the knuckle dusters in question on his person?
He had 2 pairs of Knuckle Dusties on his person at the time, yes.
Oh, one for each vest. Okay. And then during his time receiving medical, did you hear me make any statements towards him?
Yes. He was very upset when he I guess heard you say something about you know, the whole little soul and apologizing to the individuals. What else? What else? What else? I think that's mostly it. Can I also reference my statement again? Let me just double check, make sure I ain't missing nothing.
I don't think I have access to this stuff. Am I meant to have access?
You should. It should.
It's,
if you open
it's a shared
MDT,
report.
The courtroom MDT. should
Gar,
be a
it's
shared
the
report.
it's the report on the docket.
Also that.
I'm sorry, I'm not really,
You use that same excuse during the bench trial.
I'm not an experienced police officer like you, so I'm trying to figure this fucking stuff out. Sorry, I'm just asking a
That's
question.
what your lawyer is for, sir.
Yeah. Oh, I got them. Thank you.
What else? No, I think. What was the question again? Sorry.
During the time that the individual, Mr. Sterling, was receiving medical, did you hear me make any statements towards him?
Oh, any statements? I mean, yes. You did mention bringing the individual to the area, I guess, in which they struck someone. But again, I was not present or aware that anybody had gotten struck at that time. And you specifically made mention of bringing them there to apologize to the individuals that they had struck. But how many people they struck, I don't know. Where specifically, I genuinely don't know. Because again, I was not present or aware that had occurred.
Okay. What area of the city would you say classifies as Little Seoul?
Ooh. I would argue, like, actually, I don't know if I can answer this question. I mean, I perceive Little Seoul as like, I would argue from the Brown Garage as like the northwest point to Calais on the most southern point of the construction site. That's my perception of Little Seoul. Whether or not it technically extends beyond that, I don't know. But that, like, if I had to do 2 points to make a rectangle that would, like, mentally satisfy my assumption of Little Seoul, it would be that.
Okay, thank you for that. Senior Deputy Rose, I have no further questions.
Oh, wait. Can I ask a question? Larry?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay.
As long as it's okay with Justice Falconer.
That's okay. Justice, if I can ask a question?
Yeah?
Senior Deputy Rhodes, you stated that your vehicle did make contact with the plaintiff while the individual was on foot
Yep.
shortly after fleeing the vehicle, correct?
Yes.
Was this contact made intentional in any way, shape, or form?
No, not at all.
So, under your own statement, it was an accident, and you did not mean to make contact with the suspect at that point in time.
Correct.
No further questions.
Just a point of clarification, Rose. Is that roughly what you meant?
Yeah. Actually, yep.
That's bigger.
Well,
garage is one block over.
yeah.
I was
So,
just checking. It is South Rockford, San Andreas.
so you narrow.
Valpero,
You'd have to
Puerto.
narrow the top left corner one street to the east.
So it's Ginger, yeah, on Ginger Street is what he's saying.
That's roughly the location.
But
it
this
said.
this technically is more accurate because I didn't consider the bend of Ginger towards South Rockford, because I do consider that lower bend onto South Rockford also Little Seoul. But like my best guess at the time would have been roughly this. But technically, based upon my statement, it'd have to end at Ginger. But I'd still be content with that.
What did you just do?
Christian, Thank you for the 69 months. I appreciate it.
That's what he described. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. That would be more in line with what I stated.
Right. Okay. Max, any redirect?
Have a good one, Matt.
Okay. Okay. As a police officer, do you know which gang occupies this turf?
Are we referring to the turf up there?
Objection out of scope.
No, it's in scope. Actually,
Of the rebuttal?
not in
I mean,
scope for
we
what he asked.
Clearly brought up the people in Little so it's just a thing about
Well,
social
actually,
hierarchy.
no, that's valid. I think that's valid.
Doesn't technically everybody live in Little Seoul because we all have apartments there?
Kind of.
Let's not get technical. Come on.
That's welcome to court, friend.
I'm not your friend, so.
And what was the objection? Scope?
Scope, yeah. They're on redirect now, and we never questioned roads in any way, shape, or form in regards to the occupants of Little Seoul. If this was a question that should have been asked in their initial questioning.
Yeah. Still talking about the area.
Okay. So the spoke to the area of Little Seoul was opened, and then in Rhodes' answer to if he heard Larry say anything, he spoke about the people in Little Seoul being struck. So I'll say this is just within scope. You have a short leash, Max.
Okay. Do you need me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Which gang occupies the turf in Little Seoul?
To the best of my knowledge, the besties.
Okay. No more questions, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Senior Deputy Rhodes. You're free to step down and go back to the defense table.
Didn't really want to go too much further into like the
No, you're good. You're
what
good.
happened at the
It was
cells
good.
because they didn't really open it up.
Yeah, I know. I'm okay with
I
it,
almost
though.
got him on it. I almost got him on.
Surely they
just
call
like
you
the-
up.
The
Surely.
turf question is crazy because
We're allowed to
Vespa's only
two
out has
witnesses,
a
correct?
cubby.
You're allowed as many witnesses as you've called,
Okay.
and the plaintiff himself is inherently a witness.
Okay. We are calling Reese Place to the stand.
Okay. Mr. Stone, if it is a struggle to stand, you are welcome to also sit down.
I would
Mr. Blaze coming up.
If I sit down, my leg gets a bit gammy, so I prefer to keep it stretched out. If you
Yeah, I'm about to introduce into evidence the photo of him sitting in his fucking car that I have from the traffic stop.
Go
again, sorry?
My goodness.
Okay, Reese.
Do it. Sorry.
Well,
you may have to repeat what you're saying.
I won't
to
be
me
able
a
to.
fair bit, to be
It's
honest.
too
I
late.
know.
Shucks.
Having hearing problems?
I'm having a lot of problems around here.
Okay. Raise your left hand for me. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pains of perjury? So
Yeah,
help
pretty
you,
much.
Toby.
I do.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly how it was worded.
welcome,
I
Mr. Blaze.
1000% remember Johnson
Can you
saying to
confirm that
apologize.
you were involved in the medical treatment of Mr. Sterling on April 27th, 25?
Yes, I was.
Okay. During this treatment, did you overhear Mr. Johnson talking?
Did I overhear him talking?
Yeah, did you hear him talk?
I believe he spoke at some point during treatment. Yes.
Okay. Do you remember what he said about my client?
I know the new EMS
No,
jacket
I
is
do
sick.
not recall what he said.
So fucking good.
You have no recollection.
No. I treat a lot of patients, especially between then and now. I don't recall exactly what I hear on many of those scenes.
Hmm. There ain't no way I'm the only one to remember.
I think you are. that goldfish
That's
brain, you know?
crazy.
To be fair, Matt, you do have a very good memory.
Yeah, but
you
only in
do.
specific
Yeah.
instances. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the timeline too, because he asked you about me like within the week after, and then the docu case went up like a week after that. You know.
That's true.
So it's
He also
probably
made
very
a
fresh in
big
your
fuss
mind.
about like
Could
when you said it.
Give me a narrative statement of
And you went
what
to
happened in your
bench trial.
memory.
Yeah, that is true.
Can you repeat, please?
Could you give me a narrative statement of what happened?
Well,
Wait,
we
do
did
I
write a
object
medical
to
statement
this?
for
Hold on.
I'm
the
tempted to,
incident,
but it's like they kind of ask you the same thing.
and I do.
Well, I mean,
believe that,
objection
when he
calls for
did say
narrative
he
is literally.
had
I'm sorry.
bruises,
Yeah.
he was
It
quite
is.
bloodied.
It is an objection.
I've
I don't-
seen
I don't
injuries
really.
like that before. They are
I
resembling
think it's more so
that
just
of a
a
vehicular
fault
accident,
on
either
Richter's
in or struck by. As for
ESL.
the
Yeah, that's fine.
surrounding scenes, I cannot recall. And as for the medical, all that was done and witnessed is prevalent in the report that is also attached to this here trial.
For reference, that report is shared to the courtroom as well for the public.
Okay, could you read out your report then? Your
I
statement in the
sure can.
report.
I want you to know that my
No,
answer to this would
we're not
be
just gonna have him
yes,
read
I
his
could.
Statement. I can read it.
And then not actually read it out.
Correct.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Okay,
I love court,
in your
man.
experience,
It's
as
Judge
a
called me
lawyer,
out pretty
did
early
you have
though.
many people fall over the bike handle.
Yes, we've had. I've probably had a couple dozen people go over their bike handle. A lot of people bike pretty recklessly in this city, both BMXs and motorcycles. I've witnessed both of those things quite a lot. Yes.
Could you describe the range of injuries you have witnessed from such incidents?
I mean, depends on the severity. It can go from just a couple bruises to broken bones. It really depends how the person lands. Depends how fast they were going. Depends on how, I guess, burly and constitutional the person is. Not constitutional. You know what I'm trying to say. How tough they are. Some people are more brittle than others. But, injuries do line up to something like that.
I'm going to call someone.
Just to clarify, Mr. Boise, you're saying that some
You're
people
Roberta
are built different.
Littlebane.
Some people are built different. Yes,
Careful, they might take you to court, Davenport.
I can say that medically.
Alright,
Some
so I
people
like
are
it.
built different.
What happened? What's going on, Corey? Who?
Nothing.
So the injuries my client suffered, that they are in line with that of an bicycle accident of that nature.
I would say so. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
I have
Bates,
one
no more
question.
questions.
I got this.
Okay, remember it's gonna be cross.
Defense cross-examination.
This is
Just
something that he asked for.
one and done for questions. During this situation, in your experience, did Cass Sterling require a hospital visit?
No.
Okay, yeah, we rest.
Are you sure that you rest?
We don't rest. No
We-
further questions for the
That
witness, Your
one,
Honor.
yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Sorry, apologies. Just my bad.
Okay. Or Max, any redirect on that?
Why can't we
single question?
rest?
because that means we have no more arguments in any way, shape, or form for the court case.
Yep.
Yeah, for
I mean,
this witness,
okay,
you mean for the whole
No, so-
thing?
The whole
Yes.
I
thing.
can't
When
say
you
I
say you
rest.
No, that's the whole thing. That's the whole case.
Oh
Resting the
fuck,
whole case.
bitch! I'm a
Yeah.
fall the fuck asleep.
Yeah. When you say you rest your whole case.
I'm getting ready for my objection scope.
Right, okay.
Let's do it, 10
No more questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you for your testimony, Mr. Blaze. Defense, is he marked for recall?
Do you guys? Let me explain that. To
Ooh,
them.
wait, no,
Do you guys need to call
ooh.
him back and question
I
him
don't
further later on?
know. I don't. Any chance I could ask a clarifying thing just for the purpose of saving time?
Sure.
Were you also the one present in the follow-up situation at the BCSO?
In the cells?
Yes.
Objection, relevance.
Well, listen, I'm trying to save
It's a-
this.
it's a
I'm trying to
time-saving
save
thing,
him
'cause-
time
'cause
because
if
if the
you-
answer is yes, I want to
So-
recall.
So yeah, if he says yes,
I-
then the answer is
I
then
was
we're gonna
involved.
recall.
Yes, I did go.
There we
there.
go. So yes, he is marked for recall, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm gonna go unclog my ears in the corner.
Yeah, good luck with that. Thank you for your testimony so far.
Don't use a Q-tip.
If I start snoring, can someone like poke me? Please?
Everyone does.
Girl, don't rest at me. We done.
Okay, I would like to call him Mr. Sterling to the
So
stand, Your Honor.
fucking difficult.
Okay, coming up, Mr. Sterling.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Mr. Sterling, do you swear and affirm that the testimony you're about to give today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury, so help you NNS?
Yeah, one of us has got the honor. I will do. Yeah.
Didn't need the additional comment, but okay, the witness has been sworn in. Mr. Richter.
Okay, could you give me a narrative statement of the pursuit and what happened after this, please?
From where? Sorry, did you want me to start?
From the pursuit.
So from when I'm in the car, or for
No,
before
hold
I
on,
get
hold
in
on. Max, this is a direct question, and do that. Don't just
Okay,
ask him
okay.
to tell a story.
Okay, what happened during the pursuit?
Objection.
That would
Ask for a narrative again.
Narrative.
That's fine.
It's a bit vague. Could we be a bit more direct?
Okay, could you describe how Mr. Rhodes hit you during the pursuit? Both incidents?
Actually, I believe Mr. Rhodes made severe contact with me 3 times. Actually, first time was vehicle on vehicle. I was driving and exiting the car park that he mentioned. I think it's lower power by those weird delivery people's headquarters, whatever they do. Them weird folks. And he pitted me into a wall, which disabled the vehicle. You know, so then I got out the vehicle, running for my life. He pulls in. To be fair to him, Mr. Rhodes pulls in front of me a couple of times and doesn't hit me, and I managed to slide over over his. What's that big truck thing you drive, Mr. Rhodes?
Oh, the Scout?
The Scout.
Yep, the Scout, that one.
The big SUV thing that weighs. How much do you reckon how much does that weigh? About 7 ton?
No.
Objection. Calls for speculation. Counsel is testifying. No, that's not the right one.
No,
Hold
the
on.
plaintiff is testifying, but he is not in a position to ask Mr. Rhodes questions.
Yeah. It's
So anyway, you know, I get pitted with this 10-ton truck into a wall, which disables my vehicle. So get out, you know, I'm fucking terrified for my life. I just slammed against the wall, you know. So I'm running. Mr. Rhodes does pull in front of me a couple of times and doesn't make contact. You know, don't give credit where credit's due. And then for some reason he decides to actually run me over. He just kind of laughs a little bit. I says, "You okay, sir?" With a little bit of a cackle. Some may say a bit of a cackle. I get up. Someone tries to put handcuffs on me. I'm like, fortunately, I managed to slip the handcuffs and I continued running. There's about 7 police officers chasing me down. I think is it Power Street? I think Power Street across Vespucci and San Andreas towards towards like you know, you've got that Chinese restaurant place. Is it on Calais? Is it Calais, guys?
Like Calais, South Rockford, Dutch London, that merge.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so I'm running down there, and they're chasing me. I run.
Bro, stop helping
into the dock.
He needs all the help he can get.
Let him struggle and suffer.
Mr. Rhodes said, there was some swimming involved. Eventually, leading with myself getting out and running, getting out near the Billabong, and there was a bike. I jumped on the bike. I was riding the bike. I would say I was going about 30, 40 miles an hour on the bike. And then Mr. Rhodes literally rammed me off the bike. Like, literally, when I say he didn't pull in front of me, he hit me side on like I was nothing, and then placed me in cuffs. And after doing so, he said something along the words of London styled. And I asked him what the heck he meant by that, because being, you know, from the UK, whenever anyone reference the UK or London, they tend to mean knives or stabbing or shanking, you know, or chefing or queffing, you know. And he mentioned it in regards to ramming me off the bike, which I was distort to. Oh, sorry, one bit I did miss during the pursuit. We were in Little Seoul. Sorry, I'm jumping a little bit here. We were in Little Seoul by fuck that news place. What's the news place called? Is it Weasel? Weasel?
LSPN.
Anyway, LSPN, the news place, and I was in, like, you know, the bay at the front with the parking spots. I was kind of surrounded by police there, and there was lots of people hanging around there. And one of the police cars bumped me
What did you just do?
One of the people that were hanging around there. And I was like apologizing to them as I drove off, because obviously, you know, it wasn't really my fault, but at the same time, I didn't, you know, didn't want to hurt anybody. So I apologized, drove off, and then the rest kind of happened.
Lucas.
And do you want me to keep going, or do you want me to stop?
Rose, do you have any food on you?
What was that?
Enough for now.
Do you have any
During the
food?
pursuit, did you
Yeah.
show any form of aggression
Okay,
towards
just a little
the
snack.
police?
No.
Right. Oh.
Did you show your knuckle dusters at any point during the pursuit?
I do believe when I got out of the car, there might have been in my hand. I can't remember, it's a long time away, but if I did, I'd definitely put them away immediately, in line with what Mr. Rhodes said.
Why did you have knuckle dusters on you?
I think they look cool, to be honest. I'll be honest. Have you guys ever tried walking around Los Santos on your own? It can be a dangerous place, and just having my knuckle dusters there give me a level of protection, you know, self-defense,
self-defense.
against these criminal scumbags, you know.
Okay, let's jump towards after you were apprehended.
So,
could you describe to me what Larry Johnson said to you?
Was Flimbo Barge, not me.
It was.
so you were not there.
They were all having a bit of a laugh and a
I was
giggle
thinking of a
together,
different one. That
laughing at
was
what,
the same
you
guy.
know, the way that Rhodes kind of
But the one that
nailed
involved
me
him was,
in the car, and I was very
Yeah, Rhodes.
angry, and Mr. Johnson was trying.
Reese did not come to the BCC, so it was Flimbo Barge.
I'm gonna revise that. Richard might take that the wrong way.
Then I won't call him. He can go.
See what they want to do with him.
You're not going to be called back.
And I said, "What the fuck do you mean by
Alright.
that? You
I'm
can't
gonna
be
go
threatening me
sleep
like."
'cause
And I
it's
was,
fucked.
as Mr. Rhodes did, so I was extremely pissed off that an officer of the law would be basically willing to drop someone in his custody and care and
It's
restrain.
family at this point. I'm about to hit him with a rejection narrative.
How Mr. Rhodes described the best is it doesn't seem like the best kind of place to drop someone like that, right?
Okay, do you know who the besties are?
No, I don't know a great deal about. I've heard the reputation, and I've had a couple of interactions with them, including being forced to have a one-on-one weapons fight with one of their members, which was the most terrifying thing I've ever been through in my life.
Okay, from that moment on, were you still able to trust the police officers?
Objection, speculation.
I
Hmm.
mean,
That's a bit of shot in the dark. I
he,
don't know.
he
Yeah,
would
no,
be
for
describing
sure.
his own
Irish, thank you for the 33
state
months.
of mind. I don't know how state of mind is speculation. He's the best that can testify to that.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I mean, he's the only one that could testify to if he trusted the police from that point on.
Yeah, that one's kind of a shot in the dark.
I'll overrule it.
Hell no! Motherfucker run me over, run me off a bike, slam me against the wall, threatened to drop me off to the fucking gang. Hell no, I didn't trust these motherfuckers. I still don't.
Were you trying to get in contact with a lawyer?
When? Sorry, what do you mean?
Okay, sorry. When were you Miranda White sweat to you?
I'll be honest, it was such a long time ago, I wouldn't want to try and guess, because I don't actually remember, you know?
Were you trying to get into contact with a lawyer?
I did. I was, but I don't believe there was any lawyers available. That's why I ended up representing myself.
Were you confident in your abilities to defend yourself at that point?
Not really. I'm a bit of a dumbass, if I'm being completely honest. And some of the comments that Mr. Rhodes made in the car on the way to BCSO made me a little bit concerned as well. So, didn't really know.
Objection, hearsay. You haven't heard anything about any comments made by Rhodes in a car. What is being spoken about?
So, when it comes to hearsay, if Mr. Rhodes was not here to testify, or wasn't here and had the chance to be able to testify to it, it would be, but he has ample opportunity to rebut this and any testimony he may give when it goes to the defense side.
How about personal knowledge or narrative?
Are we just throwing stuff at the wall now, Maple?
Sometimes.
Right.
I don't think he would lack personal knowledge, given that he's saying he was present for the comments that were made.
Oh, that means lack personal knowledge. Okay. Sorry, I'm still learning too sometimes.
Does your cheat sheet just say personal knowledge?
Yeah.
Yeah, it lacks personal knowledge is the full objection. It's like, you won't there for that, so how would you know, really? That's the idea behind that. Yes, Max?
Okay, can I ask my next question?
Hold on, what was the third objection you threw out there, Maple?
I said narrative too.
Third? God damn, how many of these motherfuckers throw at me?
No.
I mean, you've been doing narrative damn near this entire point in time.
So you're not the judge, man. Come on.
Like,
it's true. I just
4
didn't choose
questions
to
ago, narrative would have applied, but like this one, nah.
I just let you go. I just keep talking. That's fine. I rescinded any objection. Continue.
I'm just letting me up, to be honest.
Do you remember the comments that Matt Rhodes made to you in the car?
I don't remember the word for word. I remember the implications of what he said, which I know is a bit annoying. But he's basically implying that he's a police officer and he's above the law, and I might as well not bother taking it to court because nothing will come of it. Essentially, we had a very lengthy conversation about it. I would say from where we get on the freeway to where we get off. Yeah.
So you were on your own with people you didn't trust and had to defend yourself.
Okay. Get off. That could be the whole damn city.
And I believe I have no more questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Defense cross-examination.
Yes, Mr. Sterling, were you dropped off at Little Seoul?
No, I wasn't, sir.
Okay. In this one-on-one weapons fight that happened, who was that with?
I'm not a snitch, sir. But it,
Ooh.
you know, I'm not a snitch, sir.
Unfortunately, so that
Objection
does not apply in
non-responsive.
court.
I couldn't tell you exactly who it was. They were just wearing a besties mask. That's how I know it's besties.
What did the besties mask look like?
I don't know. Is it like it just has like besties along the top of, you know, like it's isn't it like it was like
Didn't they only get a
greyish
besties
black,
mask?
not like black, you know, like a
I
lighter
don't know.
black. That sounds
Didn't they only get those
You know what I
recently?
mean? Like it's not
I think so.
I-
Yeah,
jet
some of the
black.
I
best.
don't. I don't.
No.
No.
Okay, I can't give you the hex code, unfortunately.
That's okay. That's okay.
Would you say lighter or darker than your t-shirt, so?
Darker. So it's more black than grey, but it was not as black as, say, Mr. Johnson's boots. You know, it was more like. There's no more like. I don't know the officer's name with the hands behind his back hat. More that black than.
Like
Anyway.
Davenport's
hat.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. And when did this one-on-one weapons fight occur?
I couldn't tell you, mate. I'll be honest.
Objection relevance.
This is very relevant. Purely on the basis that the whole basis of one portion of this civil suit is his perception of the besties. And so if this stuff happened afterwards, it's got no bearing on his mental state at the time that all of this actually occurred.
Maybe ask him if he knows if it was before or after this incident.
Rebuttal to that, Max?
Yeah, I was trying to avoid that because he's just easily going to say before, you know? I was trying to get a date. Like, if he said a few weeks ago, we'd be in the clear.
No rebuttal, Your Honor.
Okay. Objection overruled.
Did this weapons fight occur before or after our situation?
I cannot recall.
Oh, okay. So it's possible that it did occur afterwards.
I cannot recall.
Okay. Now, what injuries did you sustain regarding, being struck by my vehicle in any of the three instances in which you brought up?
You'd have to read the report, mate. It's in evidence. I'm not a medical professional, you know.
Got it. Outside of EMS, did you see a doctor regarding any of the injuries?
No, I've been bedridden, so. And I haven't claimed that I've been any kind of long-term injury, have I?
Got it. Okay.
So I would have seen a doctor.
Right. You say you've been bedridden, so you've been at home this whole time, is what you're saying?
No. Some of it, sir.
Some of it. Okay.
Some days I feel better than others. Other days I'm fine. Other days I'm not. It just is what it is, right?
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Sure. I totally understand. Have you had any unfavorable encounters with the police since this occurred?
Yeah.
Objection scope.
The scope is that he said he was in the vehicle with officers he didn't trust anymore.
He also did say that he doesn't trust us after that incident.
He also said after
Still
that he doesn't trust the police
day.
anymore, and still doesn't trust the police to this day.
Yes, I still fail to see how this is relevant. Within the scope.
I'm trying to figure out, how all of this has really affected his life since.
How it affects his life is not relevant. It's only relevant.
Okay, well then on that basis, he don't need no money.
Yeah, if it doesn't affect if that doesn't affect his life,
that's
then
not the argument, guys. The argument is that my rights.
The fact that his rights were violated, just because he's able to overcome the fact that his rights were violated, shouldn't mean that
Both sides stop.
Sorry.
Max, was the ejection relevance or scope? Because you brought up both.
Both.
Okay. I'll hear a rebuttal to both.
On the basis of scope and relevance, truthfully, we'll sort of round it up in a 2-for-1. He did make mention of him not trusting the police, so I'm trying to determine whether or not that has happened since. You know, pain and suffering isn't really just a in-the-moment thing. That's sort of an ongoing continuation. And so I don't see where the suffering could be occurring from. If there's no mention of anything that's, been no bueno since. I don't know what that was.
Just say ambience.
Okay. My goodness, this sounded more dangerous here than Little Soul.
Not wrong.
Okay. Max, do you have a rebuttal to what they just said?
Okay, I'm trying to the fact that my client was not able to trust the police during the proceedings should not be undermined by the fact that he may have regained the trust later on.
There's a whole lot of maze, but really we get to the bottom of this if he just answered a question.
In his statement, he said he still doesn't
Max,
trust
your
us to
client
this
did say
day.
he
I don't
still
know.
doesn't trust the police. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether he may have regained it is coming into it.
Okay, I'm a little bit lost for word here. Okay, I'll just let my client answer it.
Okay. Mr. Still, the question was, have you had any unfavorable encounters with law enforcement since the incident?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Want to ask him what they were?
Repeat that. What was that?
He said yes, there were. I don't know if you heard him.
He said he has.
Okay. And what do you recall those unfavorable encounters specifically?
Yeah, it's with you, Mr. Rhodes.
Oh my gosh. With me? What happened?
You pulled me over speeding, sir, and told me that you didn't have the radar and that I should take it to court. So we took it to court and you did have the radar. You lied to me, sir. And even the judge was laughing. Was it Beric? Because he knew what you'd done. He said, what did he say?
Oh, you got hoodwinked is what he said. I remember that one.
Yeah, Cash, you've been hoodwinked. So yeah, he lied to me. And I went to court, and then you presented evidence that you told me you didn't have, but you didn't break any laws apparently.
I mean, I can't testify here, but I do. Yeah, I don't agree actually. But
so
that's neither here nor there. Was that the only unfavorable?
We're going to debate trust, right? So that's why I trust still. Yeah.
Was that the only unfavorable encounter you've had with the police since?
I think so. Question mark. I think so. Yeah, I think. I think.
Okay.
Please refresh my memory if not, please.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've encountered police. I'm not you, right? Like, I can't really draw that conclusion. That's why I asked.
There's any reports or incidents or something like that?
Well, I mean, we can only make reports on people we can identify in crime. That's neither here nor there. Do either of y'all have any other questions? 'Cause I think I'm good, but not gonna rest.
Damn, there's a lot of police officers, man.
I almost want to deep dive into the besties thing, but to be
Go
honest,
for it, man.
Am I done, Your Honor?
Actually,
Not yet.
I'm just thinking of if he knows the exact spot where the besties are, but I don't know if that's relevant, you know?
Actually, no. I think we're good. It's not worth deep diving, to be honest, because
I don't think it is.
his info provided of them was already vague.
Right. And also, he agreed with the square, which includes the whole population of the city.
There, Your Honor.
Yeah, I don't think I have any questions either.
Okay.
The defense has no further questions for the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Max, do you have any redirect?
Let me think a minute, please.
Sure.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Stellan, for your testimony.
Ah! Oh, that step, fuck.
10 out of 10
All right,
acting, though.
Okay.
I don't think you got the hint.
Do not believe the plaintiff has any more witnesses called. Max, would you like to highlight evidence now or in your closing statement?
Sorry, in my closing statement, sir. Your Honor.
Okay. Does the plaintiff rest?
Yes, we rest.
Okay. Defense. I do not believe you have called any witnesses, so the only people you have to testify are Mr. Blaze and the two defendants.
Yeah, nah, we don't need no more witnesses or anything. I'm mostly ready for closing, I think.
Okay, so was Mr. Blaze's time wasted?
We told he came up and informed us that he didn't need to stick around, and as soon as he told us, we told him he can head
Yeah,
out.
he clarified he wasn't actually the one. So we're not gonna call him and told him he could go back to sleep.
All right. So you're electing to not call any witnesses?
Correct.
Does the defense rest?
You sure you don't want to call Larry to say what he actually said?
He doesn't remember. Nah, we
Okay,
rest.
well,
we going to
gamble then.
sleep.
Here we go. We're all done.
Okay. All right. Does either side need time to prepare closing statements?
We are prepared, Your Honor.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's run it.
Sorry, my client has a question.
Guys, I think we're missing a gang war.
Oh, it's strategic.
Strategic gang war?
Strategic court timing.
I just need a second, Your Honor.
Sorry, Your Honor, that's me asking dumb questions.
Do you need like 3 minutes?
3 minutes should suffice.
Does
Okay,
anyone have any food? I'm
25 past the hour.
Oh, hell
that
no, I ain't
sounds-
giving you food. The last time I did not. No.
The man took my food.
Last time he got food, he feigned a medical episode. I learned my lesson.
So many of you officers in is the city? You're all needed for this. Thank
It's
you,
shift
thank you,
three.
thank you.
Welcome to shift
What
3.
does
We're
that,
here.
what do you mean? What do
we're
you
here
mean
to
by
back
this
up
is
our
shift three? What
officers.
does that mean?
Careful,
So
careful. Ooh, you gonna make him scared.
Every like 5 hours.
Oh, so it's a bit slow out there for these guys. Okay. I'm glad I could, give you a way to earn your living, the police force. Ah! Oh, my leg. Fuck.
You got your own way of making a living there too. Good skill.
Was he talking to me, ma'am?
No.
Okay.
So if this court case doesn't pay off, you can always probably get a job porn acting.
He was.
We will get contempt.
That was a good one.
that was good, Deb.
Jesus.
Oh, I had nope. I'm going to keep the intrusive thought to myself.
I still think you should have took the $4,000.
is. They're so fresh and clear.
What do